subscribe and ring the bell to never miss an update. Hello everyone, we are back at the Houston Glass Show and Sale. Today on Lady Mary Beth, I'm taking you along for the rarest and very best glass. I will share ways to incorporate vintage and antique glass into your everyday. Join me. Welcome back to the Houston Glass Show and Sale. Lots of treasures are waiting for us here, and there's always something to learn. Vendors have come from all across the country to offer their beautiful glass, and I'm taking you along so that we can discover some of these beautiful items with a bit of history. I always look forward to the Houston Glass Show and Sale. It is held in Rosenberg at the Fort Bend County Fairgrounds, and these folks are excited to come preview. They get to shop a bit early the night before, and then it goes on through the weekend. Cambridge ball pitchers are a favorite, and I think should be a tabletop essential. They're actually rather affordable considering the craftsmanship and age. $125. That cobalt is one that I have and I certainly enjoy. The emerald would go with so much as well, more of an olive color. Depression glass is something we're going to talk about today. These are extra special. Look at the shape of these. Quite interesting. Made by the Indiana Glass Company in the tea room pattern. They are $25. We're going to take a look at many different patterns. During the 30 years of production, over 100 patterns of depression glass were manufactured, such as Anchor Hawking with the block optic, which is a staple, priced at $5, which is really a good deal. Some of the top patterns of the day would be Cameo, Mayfair, American Sweetheart, Princess, and Royal Lace. And this sweet saucer would be great for placing a small pitcher on top of. These sherbet dishes, very practical with a unique pattern that we will talk about in a plate in just a bit. We all want to consider a bedside carafe, especially in a guest room. And why not choose something vintage that's fabulous? This is from the Northwest Glass Company. It is called a guest set, where you have the glass nestled inside of the small pitcher. What a great idea. Another reason to shop for a vintage piece instead of retail, because you're not going to have this variety and certainly not the interesting colors. And this would definitely be a welcoming touch to a guest room. You could also consider a tumble up, which is more of a traditional bedside carafe that we see today. And this fits snugly over the top and that keeps the bugs out. That's why they originally made these to fit as one unit. Depression glass is a favorite and affordable glass with something for every taste and style here. You'll see a multitude of colors. I tend to collect the pink and the green. I think that's perfect for spring and so many different holidays. I'm going to explore some of these fantastic colors and styles. An affordable and practical glass. Depression glass came about because cut glass was labor intensive and did not survive the Great Depression. We've got many different manufacturers represented here, and I will share some ways that you can elevate your everyday with this beautiful glass. This is one of the most collectible depression glass patterns, actually only made for a few years, from 1934 to 1941. One of the most sought-after patterns in depression glass is Royal Lace, made by the Hazel Atlas Company. And they made this in quite a few colors. Blue, I think, is extra special. And I'm going to place this on top of my white Villeroy & Boch Cellini dinner plate. And you can see what a difference that makes and how that would be a great way to elevate your everyday with depression glass. Blue and white is a refreshing and classic combination and something you could certainly incorporate into a modern pattern. And think about all the different occasions where you could add a pop of color. Of course, I'm thinking springtime, even around the holidays, you could add the green. Lots of ways to bring in these beautiful pieces from the past, whether you inherit them, shop the glass show, or maybe even find these at charity resales. And you can certainly build a collection if you find a piece here and there, as I've recently done. The cherry blossom is a very popular pattern. Look at all that detail. Just love it. And bowls are certainly fun to collect.
A Princess Berry bowl with Homer Laughlin. Isn't that a great look? And it changes it up from the monotony of having every piece from the same dish pattern. Definitely adds some interest to your table.
The glass show is a great opportunity to add maybe an extra piece if you're replacing or adding onto your pattern, as I've seen many folks doing today. There's also a smaller version that is rather sweet and petite, perfect for condiments, price $26.
The cherry blossom sherbet dish and underplate is a great addition to your china pattern, and see how nicely it pairs with the desert rose or even white dishes. You probably would find that green goes with many different seasons and celebrations.
And here's a pattern that is for the birds. Actually harder to find than you would expect. Made in several different colors, and I'll tell you more about the history and why they stopped making it. The shape you may recognize, you've seen with other patterns. This small plate is priced at $44, and that gives you a clue as to the rarity.
Federal Glass Company made the Parrot plate. This is highly collectible because it did not have a long run, therefore it is more valuable. The Madrid pattern mimics the shape, but it has an all-encompassing design, and they say that they stopped making it because it shows the cut marks on the plate. I think it is perfect.
The cherry blossom pattern really pops with that white behind it. Gives you some ideas whether you use a lighter colored tablecloth or china pattern. Looks great. The Mayfair pattern is one that I especially enjoy, made by Anchor Hocking. It was produced in pink, blue, yellow, and green from 1931 to 1937. That picture is well priced at $58. And pink was the most popular color, meaning you can find more of it in the market today.
I will introduce you to Max Miller, the host of the Houston Glass Show and Sale. He has a shop at the Houston Marketplace Antiques. I know many of you have traveled to our area and have met him. He certainly knows a lot about glass, and he's got some interesting collections he's going to share with us today. Let me introduce you to Max.
I'm pleased to introduce you to Max Miller. He certainly is a glass expert. I learn something new from him every time I meet him. And I certainly leave with more knowledge and appreciation for the vintage and antique glass pieces. And it's always fun to pop into his shop at the Marketplace Antiques.
This looks like an interesting picture, Max.
Yes, it is. It's of great personal interest to me. The color is chocolate, and chocolate glass was developed in 1900 by Jacob Rosenthal. He worked at a plant in Indiana, Greentown Glass Company, also known as Indiana Tumbler and Goblet. And this is the squirrel pattern. They did novelty pictures, squirrel, heron, running deer, and the plant burned in 1903, so their product is pretty scarce to come by.
That is quite a special piece, Max.
Yeah, and the chemist, Mr. Rosenthal, went on to work at Fenton Glass Company, and he's responsible for many of their really interesting carnival finishes, and it just has a great variety of things that he developed.
Max has an extensive collection of this style. He'll tell us more about it. And it's interesting to learn about the colors and how they are produced. There are additives that give it the distinct color, and many metals or oxides are used to produce colored glass. And as these became more expensive or scarce, then you saw the clear glass gaining popularity. I think some of these could be used in a Hollywood set, very much to the period. And this was used for serving a very unique food item. I just love the design. You may find that it is quite familiar to you.
This looks like interesting glass. It has almost an Art Deco influence.
Yes, it does, and it is a very special product. Cambridge Glass Company did the glass inserts. This is their Caprice line. And Farber Brothers did the chrome mountings, which are in a very Art Deco styling. And it's a very extensive line that Farber Brothers produced, done in all different colors. We have the cobalt blue, we have ice buckets, and barware were a specialty of theirs. They did a lot of cocktail sets that are really fabulous and very sought after today. You'll have decanters, you'll have cocktail shakers, and something as special as a caviar server.
Oh, wow.
Here we have a cobalt liner, and this was for serving caviar. Farber Brothers were out of New York and had a headquarters there, so it's a very interesting design. And another really neat small item is this cigarette and ashtray in amethyst color. We have the small holder for cigarettes and then the ashtray. And these were done in a range of colors from ruby, cobalt blue, green, and amethyst, as well as clear. The variety is endless.
This is certainly a unique piece, one that I've not seen before, and we will learn more about the use of this.
We found another unique Farberware piece. Max is going to tell us all about it.
This has extraordinary design. This is a Farber decanter set with a melon rib decanter in it in amethyst, and it's designed so that you lift this to take out the decanter. And on the bottom you have a matching pattern of shot glasses that fit into a chrome base, but its design is really, really interesting to collectors today. It also comes in a double form where there are two decanters that are locked in with this mechanism in chrome.
That is quite special, Max.
A striking art glass vase that was surprisingly made by a very well-known U.S. glass company.
I see some beautiful art glass.
Yes, this is a wonderful line of art glass made by Imperial Glass Company, 1923 to 1924 period. And some of the pieces still have the Imperial freehand tags on the bottom. They're artworks. They were done by a group of artisans from Europe who came to work in America, and they were at Imperial for this 2-year period. And this is a drag loop design. It's iridescent, and see the pulled tabs that come down. It's just a very special combination of color and style. And at the time it was quite expensive, so it wasn't a success for the company. And the whole history is fascinating to learn, because later the workers went to work at Durand and also at Fenton for a period. So doing similar things yet very different in color and in style. But this is a really superb example.
This is a sort of mood glass. It can change colors with a very special ingredient and a bit of light.
This Tiffin glass has an interesting history and all started in Steubenville, Ohio. This is known as the Twilight Collection. It has neodymium, also known as alexandrite glass, and it changes according to the light source. It goes from lavender to light blue.
A lovely shade and has a rather contemporary look that would blend with many styles today. Here's an overview of the glass show. A great opportunity to learn from the dealers and to spend a few hours shopping and having some fun. This is a beautiful rose bowl with an integrated flower frog, priced at $185, and a familiar line of glassware. You would know this as uranium glass. It's becoming more popular with the younger generations. I see them out in thrift stores with a black light, testing it to see if it might be uranium. And you'll notice it has quite a change there. From under the black light it appears green, and here in the natural light it's more of a yellow. It was first identified in 1789 by a German chemist, was soon added to decorative glass for its fluorescent effect, and fell out of favor mostly because the availability of uranium was curtailed during the Cold War. Beautiful pitcher set. And a special vase that was a bit of a surprise. I didn't expect it to be Fauval. That is fry, oven to table glass. $2.95 for that pitcher set. I quite like it. It's nice that it's complete with all the glasses. You don't find that as often when you're out shopping a resale or antique store. And of course, it adds to the value to have a complete set. And a square cake stand always gets my attention. And if it's opalescent, that's an added bonus. Beautiful combination there. And I'll tell you more about it.
A Westmoreland beauty with this square cake stand in the petal and ring design. The color is lilac opalescent, and this would definitely elevate your pineapple upside down cake. Would fit nicely here. Priced at $2.25. This is a fantastic piece.
This cake pedestal could certainly be the belle of the ball. Whether you're anchoring a table at a shower or you're bringing in dessert for your guests, it'd be a great way to feature a cake. This shaped vase I think is especially interesting, and it makes flower arranging quite easy. Tulips look great in it. Those green candle holders I featured on social media, and they got lots of attention. They have a very modern look to them as well. Fenton coin dot is something that Max has a lot of in his shop. And of course, that is opalescent that we all love. He also has lots of Cambridge, Fostoria, Heisey, Duncan & Miller, and of course, Imperial glass and Pearpoint as well. Love that shade of blue. And the draped lady, Bashful Charlotte. I'm sure you've heard me mention these in previous glass show visits, and you can learn a bit of the history there. And this definitely anchors an arrangement and creates some interest for your table. Many ways to feature these inside console bowls. And they're quite interesting. Available in many different colors as well. And you may see this in an antique shop and you're not sure what it's all about. You can take a look at a previous segment where I show the history. Some more opalescent. And now we are entering the fabulous glass area of Edward Sawicki. He's got some great items and some customers who come from near and far to shop his beautiful selection. And that cut to clear has my attention. $750 for the Val St. Lambert. And even though I prefer blue, I really do like green. I think it goes with so many different seasons. $1,100 for the Cobalt cut to clear. And I'll share some exquisite vases with you. And these are showstoppers. Absolutely incredible.
A rare find with a matching pair of cut crystal vases in the American Brilliant Aladdin pattern. You will notice the sterling silver. It's a bit disproportionate, unusual to find more sterling than glass. These are priced at $29,500 for the pair.
Look at all of that detail with the sterling silver. I think that's just a magical combination with cut glass. And very interesting. If I had a spot for these, that could really command a room. In such history and craftsmanship. And they've been very well cared for. And imagine floral arrangements in these. That's something you would see at Buckingham Palace. And here's that Baccarat decanter. I think it's a fantastic piece. And if you know Baccarat prices, then you would actually realize that this is quite a bargain. And it's something that's not made anymore, which makes it even more valuable.
Cut to clear is well represented with this Val St. Lambert vase. That beautiful emerald. They also have a nice one in cobalt from Val St. Lambert. And we're continuing the green theme with a Baccarat cut to clear decanter with 2 glasses. This is priced at $1,100.
There is such beauty in glass. And it's interesting that several of these manufacturers are still in business today, such as Baccarat and Val St. Lambert from France and Belgium. And yet their current assortments don't reflect this type of beauty and craftsmanship. They've gone to a bit of a more modern look, which makes these extra special. $750 for the cobalt cut to clear. And they really know how to do that color too, especially Baccarat. They've always been quite successful at that. And a very unique serving dish with lots of detail.
More unusual finds with this strawberry bowl, similar to what we would call a strawberry basket that Wedgwood and other companies made. This is made by Moser Glass. It's priced at $2,295, and it is meant for serving berries and cream. We've got a sugar bowl, creamer, and a gorgeous vessel.
A museum quality piece. And you'll notice that fall theme with the hand-painted leaves and the metal embellishments with those acorns. Absolutely fantastic. I've never seen anything like it in a catalog or in person. And there's so much more to discover. I could spend a week here and still need more time. And there's one dealer you might remember I've shared with you. He has a Heisey half price sale. Kim Carlisle is someone that you probably would need to remember. I will include his information in the video description again. And he's got some exquisite pieces of American Brilliant. A beautiful picture set, $4,500. And I've even found things for $20 in his booth. He's got some great items, varied price points. And I'm always learning. He taught me last visit that there are cold factories and hot factories. One would, of course, embellish it, while the other would have hand-blown the glass. And there were many companies that were involved in the cutting. Just sometimes hard to pinpoint. And he's got some great pieces. That compote is fantastic. And here's a picture for $245. And that's something that we've also seen. Very practical approach where the glass fits right inside that pitcher. Absolutely brilliant. Opalescent, hobnail. This definitely has my attention, but I must say in the past I've overlooked these top hats. They're used as vases. Of course, you could turn them upside down, incorporate that into a display. But I'm starting to look at these because of the opalescent factor there. And swung vases are very popular. They've got some great mid-century here. And I will say that this is attracting the younger generations to embrace vintage glass, and that's always a good thing. Very popular in the 1960s. And you'll see the variety of colors here. And we've talked extensively about how these were made. It's quite an interesting story. And I invite you to take a look at the previous visit to the Houston Glass Show, where I share that in detail. And I rarely find these on the secondary market when I'm out thrifting, because they are so popular. You do find them in antique stores though. And they're often very well priced. And the amber glass is also popular with the younger generation, which is a bit surprising. I prefer some of the other colors. Just love that look. And there's even a Blinko floor vase. They have quite a nice variety here. Could certainly start some great collections. There's the Blinko floor vase for $1,000. And the candle holders, I think, are absolutely incredible. And if you think about what you can get today, nothing compares. $175 for a pair of Heisey Bellarosa candlesticks. I think that's very fair. There's so much craftsmanship and detail that goes into these vintage pieces. And barware, which has also experienced a resurgence, is out in full force today. The Cranberry Scroll from Culver, and that's a great 8-piece cocktail set. I can see that at Christmas time too. Love the colors. And Toledo from Culver, $175 for a set of 8 double old fashions, also known as DOFs. Beautiful design. I quite like that. Very 1960s and 70s. And that touch of gold certainly makes a difference. And the Florentine from Culver, these are really neat. Look at the fruit design. It's not one that I've seen before. And this looks like Cinderella's carriage. I think it's fantastic. And the Valencia pattern, which was one of their most popular, $245.
Lots of great barware, which is making a comeback. This is from the Culver Glass Company in the Valencia pattern. Culver was founded in the 1930s in Brooklyn, New York, and they were known for their 22 and 24 karat applied gold.
The Tyrol Silver is one that I've not seen from Culver, a set of 8 highballs for $200. This is a very classic look and deviates from the typical gold. It's timeless. The alligator skin, how about that? $450 for a set of 8. I've also not seen this before. And for the collector, this is a great opportunity to find something that could be a bit rare, such as these Mardi Gras glasses, also from Culver. And they have a very special embellishment that makes them rare.
Rare barware with this Mardi Gras pattern. You will see the applied jewels, which is a bit unusual to find. In later years, it was painted on. They have a set of 3 available.
Those really are fun. And for the collector, an opportunity to add a few more is one reason that they attend the Houston Glass Show. You could be party perfect with this Culver Chantilly punch set. That is definitely mid-century at its finest, and they were all about entertaining. More highballs that I think are actually quite fun. You can go around the world with these. London, Madrid, Bombay. And that's a great way to remember your glass at a party. You have your own city. On the other side, we've got Paris, Havana, Rome, The Hague. These are really fun. I can see these for breakfast too. They don't have to just be for barware. Any pern is something that always gets my attention, especially with that soft blue. It's the diamond lace, blue crust, $500 from Fenton. Here's another beauty with that opalescent. This is really a fun piece. It goes with all the colors that I love. The Fenton Blue Ridge Optic Swirl for $75. And here's some more of those top hats. They really are growing on me. I think I might have to start collecting these, especially that opalescent. Can you imagine lemonade served in this set? Just love it. I think it's one of the prettiest picture sets I've seen. And green really is growing on me. That's my second favorite after blue. And these amethyst glasses have my attention. Now I'm getting some ideas to bring that into my everyday with a dish pattern that I have on hand.
This Moroccan tumbler from the Hazel Atlas Company is well priced at $10, and that amethyst shade would pair beautifully with this Royal Jackson china plate that looks more like Haviland. That's a great pairing and quite affordable.
Macbeth Evans made pedalware. It's not something I see too often, although I did discover one pedalware plate recently at an estate sale that is coming up soon on the channel. This is the Mountain Flower pattern, hand painted, priced at $38. And you'll notice that red rim. It didn't appear in all of their pieces, which makes this one even more special. And a boxed set of 4. That's a great find. And I see something interesting tucked in the corner here. This dealer has things mostly from the 1800s, maybe turn of the century at the newest. And I see an interesting compote here that is held up by a pair of hands. That would be an interesting addition to a compote collection. Of course, many ways to use these. From 1879, from Hobbs Bruckner, priced $65. Which is very fair for something of that age and quite an interesting addition. The ruby flashing. This definitely was popular in that era. 1895 from the Riverside Glass Company. Priced at $375 for the set. That would be a nice addition to your table. Would add a pop of color. Very Victorian. And I just love the cake stands, and that is meant for bananas, I think, originally. You could use it for mail, just about anything. And the blue cake pedestal, I believe, should be from 1895, priced at $235 in the medallion pattern. The banana stand is from 1903. And you'll notice a stack of cake pedestals here, and the one on top is rather small. And it was actually meant for children. From 1891, ribbon candy from the U.S. Glass Company, priced at $125, and that would have been a child set for them for playtime. I know it's hard to imagine. I'll show you more about that in just a minute. And this was their most unusual find that I've seen yet, and they call it the Family. It was an entire set. There are a couple of missing pieces. Such detail, and that is milk glass. From the 1870s, price is $745. Another beautiful pitcher set that stops me in my tracks. Just love that ruffled pitcher. And the oil lamps that are popular, and the pickle casters. Always something to discover here. And I'm going to share with you some smaller items that are quite interesting. And it's not something that you would have seen on a family's table. It would have been in another area of the home, enjoyed by also some family members that were a bit on the younger side. This is from 1875 with a Liberty Bell. Just amazing to think about what was popular then compared to today. And that is molded glass.
There was also collectible glass for children. This is a child's cup made by the McKee Glass Company. And this was a commemorative piece for the Declaration of Independence, celebrating 100 years. This was actually meant for their doll set.
It's hard to imagine that children would have played with small glass pieces, but at least they could teach them to appreciate the beauty of things at a young age. And some of these actually survived for us to still see today. Cake pedestals, I think, are a great addition for your tabletop collection. This one's priced at $65. And stacking them gives you so many different options for serving, creating a centerpiece. This one is made from McKee. And just can't get enough cake stands. I have quite an extensive collection. I keep them above my kitchen cabinets. And this one is the Texas pattern, which is extra special, turn of the century, priced at $165. And here's a very affordable gift item that you could keep in your gift closet From Fenton from the 1940s, priced at $35. Sugar and creamer, opalescent, in that paneled grape pattern. I think that's the perfect gift. And more opalescent with this pitcher set. I think the color is perfect. Circle scroll from 1904, priced at $5.45. These candle holders, I thought, had such elegant simplicity, made from the Heisey Glass Company in that grape cluster from about 1935, and they're priced at $165 for the pair. And that would be a beautiful addition to your table for any season. And look at all the detail, even the very top piece with the candle holder. Amazing. And there's so many collections here, and the King's Crown is one that you probably have seen me feature with that thumbprint design. A punch set. This is quite a regal look. And red really does go with most seasons. I've not seen one in person. This is extra special, priced at $1,150 in that King's Crown, and it's a 14-piece set. Pink is gaining popularity, and these glasses are beautiful. I especially would enjoy the ice beverage made by Cambridge, and that's the Rosalie pattern. If only they still made glass like this today. Can you imagine? $65 for the tumblers, and the ice beverage would definitely be something that I would use on my table more so than the other. Gorgeous. And this is one that reminds me of some of Max Miller's items. It has that key ingredient that gives it that special color, made by the Fostoria Glass Company, the wisteria pattern. And quite an extensive collection. I'm always reaching for that iced beverage. I think that's perfect for water, iced tea, juice in the morning. Many possibilities. In the plates, of course, you could blend in with your white dish pattern or your Haviland. Beautiful shade. And that quickly we have a place setting.
This Fostoria Lafayette pattern is in the wisteria color. And you'll notice that lilac shade, it actually has neodymium, which means that if the light source changes, it could actually be more of a light blue. This is quite a complete set of elegant glass, and it actually even features an individual almond dish. I think we all need one of these on our table.
You'll notice in the wisteria glasses it has the clear stem and base, while the bowl has the color, which is really nice. It gives it a bit of a contrast. It's a beautiful color. I adore candelabras. I think these are fantastic. Look at the square base and so many pieces and parts, and the dealer is going to show us how you actually remove some of these. I just think that this is an overlooked item. $975 for the pair, made by the Fostoria Glass Company. And look how these come apart. Aren't those great? If you wanted to simplify, you could take off the bobèche with the prisms. Could adapt that just a bit. These are very unique. I've not seen any like this before. And if you're not wanting to polish sterling silver candelabras, this would be a great alternative. And it looks like it belongs in a palace. The Heisey Patrician pattern from 1905-1933 that it was made, priced at $875. And this is a nice size right here. It's not overpowering for your space. Aren't they fantastic? Priced at $295. From 1935 to 1944 they were made, and that is also from Heisey. and a very distinct look from the Duncan and Miller Company. And it has quite the Art Deco look, 160. And that's the terrace 2-light candelabra. That is gorgeous. And you can also remove these for a simpler look. I so enjoyed discovering all of these beautiful things at the Houston Glass Show, and I'm glad you came along with me. I encourage you to come out to their next sale. Follow me on social media.
So glad you joined me today for the Houston Glass Show and Sale. We discovered lots of beautiful treasures, including this Imperial plate. And we also found ways to incorporate these vintage and antique pieces into our everyday. Thanks again for joining Lady Mary Beth. Elevate your everyday with vintage glass.